This Megadeth album entered the Billboard Top 200 at number 4 and went platinum. Then we kind of forgot about it. But today, we pull Youthanasia out of the attic. The slower songs, the giant hooks, the band single, we are diving in because this album is massively underrated. By the way, I'm Kane Irvine, this is the heaviest show in the universe. I'm a former metal elitist basement dweller and lifelong metalhead. Metal is all I do, all the time. I live for it. Alright, let's fix a legacy. Youthanasia dropped on November 1st, 1994. It was recorded in Phoenix, Arizona with producer Max Norman. This is the same band that made Rust in Peace and Countdown to Extinction, but a completely different energy. But a lot of people don't consider this album among the best Megadeth albums. If this, quote, isn't classic, why did it perform like one? Maybe we judged the pivot in the sound and not the songs. In the early 90s, Megadeth were arena big and fight club tight. But Youthanasia slowed the tempos and sharpened the groove. Less whiplash, more precision, more sing-along choruses. Many fans yelled sellout, but I like to think of it more as locked in. Mustaine opens space, Marty sings through the guitar, Ellefson and Menza glue it all down. Tracks like Reckoning Day, Train of Consequences, these are incredibly heavy but tightly surgical in their writing. Critics called it more mainstream, but thrash heads heard less of their favorite sacred 16th note open palm mutes. Both were right. Also, it's 1994. Grunge and alt-rock run the charts. Timing matters. So the fanbase split, but the record hit anyway. It went to number 4 on the Billboard Top 200. That means it went platinum. But here's the part that almost nobody remembers. Megadeth didn't just drop a record. They helped invent online fandom as we know it. To launch Youthanasia, Capitol Records and Megadeth built Megadeth Arizona, an official band website in 1994. A whole virtual town, chat, games, in-jokes, way before social media. It's often credited as the first official band website. Fans formed a culture around it. Meetups, live chats, early streams. This was all in 1994. It's absolutely wild to think about. So while the music was quote-unquote slower, the rollout of the music was future tense. Now the lightning rod, a tout le monde. MTV banned the video after calling it quote-unquote pro-suicide. Mustaine's intent? Final words to loved ones, not an invite to die. It's kind of mind-blowing how anyone could see this as a song about suicide or encouraging people to commit suicide, especially in hindsight. But even back then in 1994, absolutely wild to think of it this way. We've definitely come a long way since then. But that clash, intent versus reception, is this album's beating heart. Again, people saw a ballad, but when I listen to it, I hear an eulogy. And the hook still stomps. But it's far from the only banger here. Train of Consequences, the riff you can drive to. Reckoning Day, the curtain opener with the slamming heavy riff. The previous mentioned A Tout le Monde, a sing-along with a lump in your throat type of song. The Killing Road, one of the best choruses in Megadeth's history that you can sing over and over again. And of course, I cannot forget Addicted to Chaos, easily in my top Megadeth songs ever. This is grown-up Megadeth. Not slower like Sleepy, slower like Heavy. Now, was this all an attempt for Mustaine to try and get his sacred #1 record that he always wanted? Definitely. But that doesn't make it all bad. A lot of metalheads find anything mainstream to not be real metal. People still egregiously hate the Black Album, which is beyond ridiculous. And this album gets treated the same way, sadly. But the writing is still top tier. Think about the album cover and how it relates to the title track. The album cover shows an old woman hanging babies on a clothesline. It ties to the title pun, youth plus Youthanasia, and then when you listen to the actual song Youthanasia, he says in the song, "We've been hung out to dry." Relates right back to the title cover and the pun. Pretty dark for a radio record. So ask yourself this, did the hate come from the sound or from the shift? Because the shift aged pretty damn well. Before we get into my theory of why this album completely vanished, what do you think? Where do you place Youthanasia in Megadeth's catalog? Because personally, I place it above Killing Is My Business, But, you know, relax, chill, yeah, don't kill me. But it's Beneath Peace Sells, Rust in Peace, Countdown to Extinction. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say below. We'll see you down there. Here's my theory about why this album is forgotten. Youthanasia didn't fit the loudest story about Megadeth. It's not the speed record, not the chaos record, it's the control record. The songs live in the pocket. The band writes as a unit. The production is glass clear, and it lasts because in 2025, people love that cleaner sound, except the neckbeards. Think of it like the Sega Dreamcast of heavy metal, pushing the boundaries of what metal would sound like, but it was too ahead of its time. People quickly forgot about it after its initial release that blew it up, choosing to remember other albums instead like Rust in Peace or Countdown to Extinction as their nostalgic trip. But now that people look back on it, it was actually pretty damn good, and we didn't know what we had at the time. And look, the receipts don't lie. Again, it hit number 4 on the Billboard Top 200, platinum in the US. People showed up for this. The launch literally pioneered how bands talk to fans online, and the band single became a lifer on the setlist and got a second release years later. Re-listen to this album with that pivot in mind. Start with Reckoning Day, A Train of Consequences, The Killing Road, Addicted to Chaos. Hear the intent in the writing. Less sprint, more aim. Megadeth slowed down, but they leveled up and accidentally built the future of fan culture. That's wild. We didn't forget about Youthanasia because it sucked or because it failed. We forgot about it because it didn't fit our memory of Megadeth. It was too ahead of its time, and that's on us. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this one, check out this video on Death's Human. It pissed a lot of people off. Or this one on Slipknot's Iowa. As always, long live metal.